Right.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This is the February 23rd meeting of the Handbook Committee. Where we left off, it's been a month now, I think it has, was looking at options to replace the current PTO time that is in the Switzerland County Handbook. And each member was tasked to kind of do some research and find out what works and what isn't working and what's legal. I read quite a bit of anything that we do now will be affected by the Trump administration's big, beautiful bill. Everything we do. We're going to have to follow that to a T. His bill reads, plain and simply, if you're going to collect any overtime pay, you must physically work 80 hours in a pay period. Where I know some counties, they'll count and I think some school municipalities, I don't know if Switzerland does, if you took a vacation day within that pay period, you don't. So
Not get overtime.
we don't over there either. It
With holidays
eliminates
or-
that completely.
Right.
You must physically be present for 80 hours. The
We do
standard,
it on a
I
40-hour
think,
work week though, not 80 hours, is how we usually do it.
you do by work week.
Yeah.
I know the standard's 84 hours, and I think that's what, I forget what standard that is, 84 hours, but it's up to the county. There's no law regulating that. So most counties, I think, do 80, or most government entities, not counties, do 80 hours overtime. Comp time, that's a county by county basis as well. Comp time is generally earned at time and a half unless you used a sick day or there was a holiday in there or vacation day you took during that, then your comp time would be acquired at one standard hour for hour, minute for minute. So there's a lot of variables
Comp time has to be reported to on that big
on the big beautiful bill.
Yes.
And then I don't know how they're gonna record that. It's gonna require.
Yeah, you don't have to.
Where are we at on
put it
Harris?
codes.
Just trying to get Harris to be compatible with AOD.
Okay.
So our timekeeping system is not compatible with our payroll system either, but we just manually enter it. We can still make everybody clock in and out, and we just run our reports. And all that tracks, all our overtime, our comp time, all that. We have it all coded in our timekeeping system. Yeah,
Just needs
I
to
mean,
get
it's
up,
that
or
simple.
we're
I
dead in the
mean,
water here.
we fought with them for 8 months, but we made it work. It's a headache, but it can do it. Brian, if we go to comp time, is that gonna be like department, like basis? Is like, talked to Brian at the sheriff's department, and he said comp time just doesn't work for them, but like, I know it does for the highway department. You know,
Yeah, it
Okay.
won't work for them, it won't work for EMS either.
yeah, that's what he was saying, so I was just,
Yeah, so it would be pretty much every department except for sheriff and EMS.
okay.
Yep. Sheriff's self-sustainable with casino revenue anyway.
Yeah.
And EMS has to have overtime built in with their Kelly days and shorthanded. There's no way around that. And that's not unusual for
Okay,
any EMS in the state. But what is unusual is a county highway being paid overtime. That's killing the bottom line considerably.
And how much was, I know we had talked, was it $10,000 the last time?
mm-hmm,
That was just for the last snow, right? Right, but we've already burned through that. We literally have maybe $200 or $300 left. Oh, yeah, that's it, I guess.
And it's still February.
So, yeah. So you're saying this big beautiful bill, that overtime, you have to physically work,
Yes.
physically work, so nothing's gonna count towards it. PTO doesn't count towards your,
No. You must physically work 80 hours to be eligible for time and a half overtime. Any overtime worked other than that is that straight time rate. But for the most part, we're trying to eliminate county highway overtime anyway. We're gonna have an overtime budget for county highway, because there's gonna be times that we're gonna have to pay somebody out when they leave, or they should be paid overtime on certain events, and that's for us all to decide. You know, if they get called out on Thanksgiving, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, maybe we pay them overtime, but if we're paying them $100,000 a year overtime now, that's insanity, so.
Are we thinking about setting a limit, like if they reach the 120 hours comp time, then anything after that is paid out? Or do you just want to keep it forever?
No,
Because
that's forever.
You run into the issues if they earn comp time in 2025 and then they don't use any of it in 2026 when they get whatever, $1.20 pay raise, you're paying them at their higher pay rate than what they technically earned.
So I called 3 other counties plus the one that I work in, there are 4 counties, and those are all at $200. And anything past that, you go into overtime. But that falls on the county manager, department manager to monitor that.
So there's not gonna be a max.
$200. Well, the 200 is what I've seen. We'd have to decide what the max. But I was just trying to get a ballpark of where other people are sitting at. And it's $200.
I mean, if that works for other counties, then it would work for us.
Like I have 90 hours.
5 weeks.
And I'll get an alert when I hit 100 on a payroll. It's a payroll alert system. They'll let me know, hey, you're at 100. Then I get another one at 150, and then at 200, I get more alerts saying, hey, you're done. You gotta start. And then my boss will yell at me to take time off. So that's where it falls on the department head. That's where we got into trouble before. I still worked here when we got into that pickle last time. We were writing checks for $10,000 to people, and they had 500 hours of comp time, and nobody was holding them people accountable. Nobody was, the checks and balances were broken. And I still feel it was a knee-jerk reaction to eliminate it and switch away from it. That was a knee-jerk reaction instead of working the problem. The problem worked us. And here we sit today. I'm at, of the opinion that PTO time doesn't work in a government entity. I made that case. My personal opinion, the last time we met, you don't earn enough PTO time. You can't keep people around if they get pregnant or they get sick and they got 8 hours of PTO. What the hell are they going to do now? I don't agree with it. That's factory stuff, not government entity. So I guess we need to just focus on one task at a time, which would be comp time. And now this is all based on and subject to timekeeping. We all agree on that, right?
Yeah.
Timekeeping has to be in place.
And then I know, like, the big beautiful bill, what we learned at the school, the comp time, the only thing that has to be reported as qualified overtime is 0.5. So that's going to be hard to track. That's why keeping track, proper timekeeping record.
This is contingent. On the timekeeping system.
even with the timekeeping system, you do understand for the highway department, when the guys get called out on overtime, they start on the clock when they get called out. So they're not gonna drive out to the garage, punch a clock, and then go and do what they have to do. So we still have to manually be able to put in when they
So
start.
this is, my solution to this is our timekeeping system, you have the ability to go in there and make changes. Only certain people are authorized to make changes, not the employees themselves. And then they have to put a note in there, like why they changed it. So I feel like whatever this AOD should be able to do that.
It
So
does, yeah.
Jenny, if she's
Yeah.
managing the time and they get called out, they got called out at 9:05, returned this time.
Yeah.
And she adjusts the time, but there's a note in there to cover her butt for adjusting people's time.
Right, understanding, we do need to be able to do
Yeah.
that.
And you
So it should be able to do
we
that.
check with
That's-
Harris, they have the same capabilities. If you set a supervisor or whatever, they also have an option of putting an app on the phone. We can't
Yes.
force that because it's your personal phone, but if that's an option, I have it on mine. I clock in every day on them.
We have that too, and we just, we have that when it's clock in. But it also, ours is really like, you can see when it was changed, if somebody's consistently changing certain people's time. So you can look for abuse, because you say it will never happen, but it does. It does.
It's just flat, plain and simple. It does. But that's why we limited.
Yeah.
Scrutinize it, who can do it, who can't do it.
And then we have like 2 sign-offs, like our secretary does it, and our principal has to review it to say, yes, what she put in was right.
And they do ask about that stuff.
Yes. Our auditors want all those nice records.
Yes. And that's what an audit is for, is
Yeah.
to have those records so that we do have.
And if you don't have
Clarity.
signatures, you'll look right at them. Because they want checks and balances. They just don't want one person doing everything. So like if Jenny does it, Dusty could sign off, that he verified, he calls so-and-so in.
Are we allowed to ask questions? Or do we have to wait till a certain time?
Do what?
Are we allowed to ask questions or do we need to wait till like the end or something?
Yeah, we open it up
At
for
the
all
end?
of you
At the
who have open, yep. So the comp time numbers, I would think, my opinion, I'm comfortable with a month. It's 160 hours.
Yeah.
That's a month's comp time. That's a lot of time off.
It is.
Um,
It is.
I think 200 might be too much even, but, and that's where I think we got in trouble for. I forget what it was here before, Wesley, was it 400 or something?
I never was allowed to take that. Once I got to 80, I could carry it over, and Nancy'd always tell me I had to stop at 80.
Yeah, and the supervisors can do that,
Yeah.
but there was a handbook limit, I don't remember.
I think it was 80.
I was pretty
It was
sure
just 80?
80 was all you
80
could
was
carry.
always, yeah.
That's all you could carry,
You could get anything during
Yeah.
the year, but you could only carry.
you could only carry over,
Yeah.
right,
You had
yeah,
to end
yeah,
the year, have it down to 80, yeah.
right, and that's where. So let's see,
And they pay
Jefferson,
that out.
Ripley maybe, or Jefferson and
You know,
Ohio.
If you left, but they never paid it out unless you actually left.
Unless what?
Unless you actually quit or left or got fired. They didn't
Well, that's
pay.
gonna, I mean, at any time, an employee can walk up and be like, hey, I want paid out comp time.
Yeah.
And you have to pay them out. That's why we have to leave money in that budget.
Okay.
We have to budget that each year. Hey, let's budget $20,000 to sit in that. Because Johnny might want us to pay him out his 80 hours of comp time. We have to pay him out in a reasonable time frame. Reasonable is up for discussion, but I would say that be within a pay period or two. That we have to pay that person out what they've asked for.
Jenny, is that the old book right there?
Yes, sir.
Is that the old book right there?
Uh-huh.
Probably isn't.
I'm looking, trying to find it, I got mine too.
Oh, see,
All right, so
So
first step
160
would
hours.
be. I guess I probably should make a motion. So. what are we gonna do?
160, and then are we gonna do it it gonna be like at the end of the year? Like, if you have anything over 160 in the year gets paid out, or? I don't know.
Well, anything over 160,
Well,
I would-
that's not what I worded that wrong, but like at the end of the year, to avoid that paying the different rate, or would you just really don't care? So they'll be paid more. If they, like, let's say December 31st comes on and they have 80 hours comp time, technically they can carry it over. But if they get a raise, then they're going to get paid higher. So, it's really no big deal. If you don't care, let it go.
It's probably not that significant a
Yeah.
dollar amount.
Yeah.
And again, understanding my department,
Yeah.
if
They're
they're
only
only
like
like
every 80 hours year to year.
Yeah.
It's not like they're
Yeah.
stacking those 80 hours every year.
Yeah.
I wouldn't let that happen. It would be a set 80
Yeah.
to roll
I was
over
just-
the next year.
yeah, I would say we'll just set it at 160 max, 80 rollover. Well, I'll make a motion that we set maximum comp hours at 160 with a maximum rollover of 80 hours paid out at whatever the current rate of pay is at that time.
Now, in the old handbook, what Wesley's talking about, it said, comp time in excess of 80 hours shall be used during the calendar year in which it was earned by November 30th. However, all compensatory time earned in December can be carried over in addition to that 80 hours, which helps to cover the highway department because it doesn't snow in June, so.
Okay. So that's stuff we can tweak. So that, my motion's on the table.
I'll second it, Brian.
I'm sorry.
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor? And those would be subsections.
So that's a maximum 160 hours, what you
Yes.
said?
At any time during the year.
And then the max rollover is 80 hours,
That's correct.
with the pay being at whatever rate.
Yes.
Whatever the current rate.
Do we need to make a motion about how it's only straight, like, physical time worked? Because I don't think they work states that way. They get overtime.
Yep. Are you talking about if they took time off in that pay period?
I was thinking like what you said, like if they have a vacation day and then they end up coming in, they would only get that time and a half. They just get that
Straight.
time for that one.
Well, before we go to that point, we need to decide whether we're fully basing off of an 80-hour calendar. So I'll make a motion that based on an 80-hour calendar week, if an employee uses sick, vacation, personal time during that time period and earns comp time, they will earn that comp time only at straight time, not time and a half.
I'll second that.
All in favor? Aye. Against? You can say what?
Well, I think that really makes it really kind of screws my department.
Well, it does, but we have to follow the big beautiful bill and we get
Yeah.
fined heavily.
Yeah, but the whole thing with the big beautiful bill really puts the highway department in a bad spot. You take a vacation day, you can't predict when you're gonna get called in. And then they lose money for that. They get penalized for that. You can't predict when something's gonna flood or when a tree's gonna fall down or so,
Well, I don't disagree,
yeah.
but the county employee gets penalized for it, but if we don't follow it as a county, we get penalized tens of thousands of dollars, literally.
Yeah, I understand. I
Everybody
think
does.
And that's kind of
it's a
just
bad deal, but
that's just kind of what you get when you work, hourly. Yeah. It's unfortunate. It's
Our
not.
employees have never got overtime with holidays or, vacation.
I got 10 hours of comp time last week, all at straight time. Because off for my mother's funeral. So I still was penalized for that. It's just, what are you gonna do?
Can I make sure this is right?
Do what?
So you must work 80 hours in a calendar week to get overtime, so sick, vacation, holiday,
You know.
that does not count.
Pay
For a pay
period, not a pay
period, not a
period.
calendar week, in a full pay period,
80
80
hour
hour
pay,
pay.
pay week, or pay period. So Jenny, you might know this, do they have to use vacation time in a certain, you know? I don't know if it says that in there. They only carry so many hours of vacation time over. My thought is if you have somebody who has a bunch of comp time and they're using that instead of their vacation time, are they determined to lose their vacation days at the end of the year?
I think the policy is 80 hours to carry over.
Is that include everything? Like,
Yes,
That's your vacation and your comp time?
your vacation, your sick, we don't have comp time.
it's PTO right now,
Yes, it's
So-
PTO, which is basically your sick, your vacation.
but I'm just like, if somebody continues their
Personal.
comp time instead of using their days off, like they have a doctor's appointment or whatever, are they gonna end up losing their leave days at the end of the year? That could be my concern. I don't want them to lose their leave days because they're using their comp time. I hope that makes sense. We don't deal with comp time at the school, which is a nightmare, but that was just my thought.
It used to be 80 comp time, 80 vacation days.
Carried over?
Carried over. That's what you was asking, I couldn't hardly hear.
And again, everything we do here and agree on here unanimously has to be brought before the full board of commissioners to be voted on.
So that would be council as well.
Which I guess we're discussing is sick.
If there's money
Put
involved.
something in there. I just didn't want people to lose their vacation days because they're constantly using comp time. That was my thought. Actually, I think Ben said something about that. He's like, I don't lose my sick days, I'm losing comp time.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that was the next thing on here was, do we look at avenues to get rid of PTO and bring in vacation, personal, sick, and all that back?
Yes,
Um,
I think so.
did you have vacation, sick, and personal prior?
Yeah.
All three, okay,
And the sheriff's department here still does. They still operate on that.
okay.
Sick, personal, vacation, holiday. You don't though. So it's just sheriff, that's what I thought. Sheriff's department's the only county entity that still has
Okay.
sick, personal, vacation days. They don't have PTO.
Well, how are they, like, what do they start out with and everything? You know,
12 vacation days, 6 sick, this is a calendar year.
okay.
12 vacation, 6 sick, 6 sick. And they don't have personal days. And then they have the floating holidays. So then they have, however many floating holidays we have.
In the old handbook, they had vacation based on how many years you've been here. Sick time, you earn 1 day a month, up to 30.
30, we
30,
carry
is that
30
right?
over.
And personal days, you earned 1 day a quarter. Did any of that carry over? I don't know.
You
Personal.
didn't use them, you lost them.
Personal for use or lose.
Did that system work, like, for me, just what does that say?
I think it's a good system.
Everybody thought
I
it
think,
worked.
yeah, I think everybody.
Flawless.
I wasn't here then, so I was just,
Yeah.
It was easier to take care of, like to keep track of.
You
Yeah.
can have a max of 240 sick hours at any given time.
okay.
But to start your new sick hours, you have to burn down to get your new sick hours, or you lose them if you spoke to them.
Okay.
Down to how many, Justin?
You just have to burn whatever to get your next 8 hours. You can carry a max of 240, but then if you had 8 coming, you would have to burn some down to get that
Before
8.
you
Or
burn
you
any
lost, yeah, or you lost the 8.
Yeah,
Max
we didn't do hours.
240 sick,
Yeah, 246.
46.
And the
so the state
vacation-
average is 60.
This is what it is.
So
Which
we're-
is-
Not very many.
No.
And you burn 60 hours in no time. That's what it said.
Ours is
Yeah,
180.
60 I think is extremely low.
But
If
they
you get
also,
sick, you're gonna want one more than that.
they also had in the county a sick bank where people could, if you didn't use
Yeah, we
it,
have
they
that
could donate.
for our teachers. Yeah. My thought is it takes 6 months for long-term disability to kick in, that's 180 hours.
There you go. So
Yeah,
that's
so you at
reasonable.
least want 180 carryover hours. Or 180 days, sorry, not hours.
180 days.
180 days.
So
that's
I think you'd at least want that for a carryover amount. So if somebody got sick and had to be off 6 months for.
When I left the state, I abandoned 1,500 hours because there was no limits. So, yeah, 1,440 hours. Sick.
But then you would also have if they had comp time too. It is.
Don't lose them papers, Ryan. I got that back in my book.
Oh,
Because it should be that they have to use their comp time sometime,
Use it first.
use it first before, before long-term disability kicks in.
Can't go in there, baby, and all that stuff.
I think they had to use it too before they could use the sick bank.
What?
I feel like they had to use all their stuff up before they could use the sick bank
Yes.
too.
Yeah,
no, I said it's not 60. It's 60 days.
you have somebody that has a cancer diagnosis and they're
480
unable to
hours.
work,
That's the state average.
You know.
480.
I've used everything.
Yeah.
Get help.
Yeah.
To that paycheck.
that's a benefit. That's definitely a benefit that was taken away from you guys.
So I spoke wrong. It's not 60 hours, it's 60 days, which is 480 hours. That's the state average. 400.
For what?
Roll,
That only covers 3 months.
480 hours.
I feel like it should be 180 or, I'm not opposed to 840, but. Does the county offer long-term disability? I should know.
What is it?
Do you guys offer long-term disability? I should
Yes.
know. Yeah, and it's 20.
And they have to use everything before they can
Yes.
get on that. They're sick, that all their PTO has to be gone, everything before they can start on long-term disability.
What's
Or
the,
even short-term disability, or even
Ours runs.
FMLA, or,
Thank goodness I haven't had to do that, so, I'm kind of trying to, draw from what I remember from working at the school and where I work now.
what's the minimum time frame to get on short-term disability?
6 weeks usually.
6 weeks.
For short-term, long-term, 180 days. It's really based on your policy. You can buy a better policy if you want to pay more money, and it could be 14 days.
it's through the
Or
county.
30
so
days,
It's through the county.
yeah.
Didn't the county pay for our short term?
Yes, they
We
pay
can
for
buy-
the
We can
insurance.
buy long
It's
term,
either
but they
like-
pay for short.
Sometimes,
Yes.
some are like 14, and some are 30.
So to get to 6 weeks, that would require 240 hours of sick time to carry them to short-term. And then they get short-term pay kicks in, which should carry them to long-term.
Yeah, just don't keep them at all for 6 months.
And that's what we had before, was the 240 you could carry.
That's why that would be based on that. That carries them over till they get a paycheck.
Yeah.
So the state average is double that, 480 hours. That's given them 60 days worth of sick. That's the max. And then anything, if they don't use that, then they forfeit any more sick time earnings. They don't earn them anymore.
So you don't earn them until you use them.
Once you hit the
Once you
60
hit-
days,
Once you hit the, yeah,
once you've maxed out, you no longer earn sick time until you have used the sick day, then you get it back. Let's see. What was the other?
and that's 60 days.
That's 480 hours is 60 days.
Yeah.
I don't have the state average on personal days, I just have two different policies, and they're both 3 days.
You get 3 days.
So
You
you
get them all at the beginning
school
of the
does
year,
too.
yeah. You don't earn them, you get them at the beginning of the year.
And they're to be used by December 31st of each year.
What year did you start?
Employees may roll over a maximum of 3 personal days on an annual basis. They just can't earn any more. If they have 3, they forfeit any earnings.
We have a really weird policy though. Ours,
Yeah.
we don't make people lose our personal, they roll over to their sick pay.
Everyone's sick.
That's how we do ours. We give them their new 3, so they have 6 days and 3 of those days will move over to their sick time.
Is that for accounting purposes or why do you guys do that?
I think we just do this benefit because some people don't lose their time.
Another perk. And then I
Kind of
also,
rewarding people for actually coming to work.
and then I only pulled 2 counties. I didn't get the other one's vacation. And they were identical. It's after 90 days, this is for vacation time. After 90 days, it's 5 days. Second anniversary through the 4th year of employment is 10 days. 5th anniversary through the 9th year is 15 days. 10th anniversary through the 14th year is 20 days. And the 15th anniversary and beyond to retirement is 25 days.
So they would get 5 days from 90 days to 2 years. That's it.
5 days a year.
5 days a year, not just 5 days.
Yeah, 5 days each year is what your vacation.
Okay,
That's
that
after,
makes sense. I'm like,
that's
5 days
between-
to use for 2 years. I'm like, that's.
that's after. Then when you hit your 2nd anniversary up to your 4th, you get 10 days a year. Each year.
90 days is 5, 2 to 4 is 10, 4 to what?
I would say 90 days to 1 year.
And you can roll over 5 vacation days each year. That's what gives 2 counties. Agreed on. I don't know, I had to pull more to see what the variances are.
So it was, after 90 days to the 2nd anniversary, it's 5 days a year. 2nd anniversary to the 4th anniversary is 10 days. And then the 5 to 10 is 15 days.
Yes.
Our current policy does more days.
Yeah, our current policy is better.
Well, no, because we wouldn't.
And then
count-
after
They get
10.
sick too. PTO is all included, so we definitely don't that.
Yeah, PTO's all one.
They get-
Lunch. We're actually giving them more days.
10 to
By
15
switching
years is
back.
20 days.
Do what?
10 to 15 years is 20 days.
Mm-hmm.
And then after 15,
15 on is 25. That was just 2 counties. Food for thought for us.
And actually, the first year would be less days, because they get 160 hours, which is. No, never mind. 20 days. We said they get 12 sick, 5 vacation, and then 3 personal. So that it would equal out to exactly 20. For the first year, they'd still really not be getting any
Oh, this is
extra benefit,
how much did we pay out in
but they
overtime
would
last year?
coming year 2.
Do you know?
Oh my gosh, it was a lot.
Well, it was, but the number was wrong, because that number included sheriff and
Oh,
EMS.
EMS,
Okay.
And those guys are gonna get their money anyway.
yes.
The only number we care about is I know we brought in extra to cover it last year, but we physically paid out.
In overtime?
Yeah.
Between $60,000 and $70,000. Closer to 70 than 60.
Yeah, I think it's like 67 or 68.
Physically paid out, yeah. And we allocated a total of 100, didn't we? Didn't we bring in extra?
I did 25 at first, and then I allocated another 15 maybe,
15?
and then the rest come from council.
Okay, came from council.
That's the old one, Ryan. Do you wanna see the current,
I just want the PTO one.
the current year, the current that we're using now?
Oh, she has that. I don't have that.
Jenny's got it.
I have that. but-
That's it.
Sure.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It equals out the first year, but years 2 through 4, they'll be getting more time if we change it.
That would get more because it's, because they're gonna get sick. Holiday in person, or sick vacation. Sick.
Before you do that, before you make a motion, can we get away from this earning 3 hours every pay period and on January 1st, you get your benefits and you get what you get?
What do you mean?
So if you get 12 days of sick time for the year on January 1, you have all your benefits loaded at that point, instead of this earning, 6 hours every pay period, the way we do it now.
Well, based on this?
Yeah.
Oh, we would eliminate this completely.
But we would give them all at the same time.
Yeah, give them all, you get 2 weeks of vacation on January 1, I've got my 2 weeks. Now, if I quit in May, you're gonna prorate it and I only get what I've earned.
I'm gonna deduct it if you
Right.
use more of it.
If you use more of it.
Yeah, we can. More than that. As far as benefits go, what is our policy now? How long do you have to be here before you get health benefits?
30 days, well, it's 30 days from, so let's say you started March 1st, your benefits won't start until May. No, April 1st,
So it's 30 days.
30 days.
Okay.
But, let's say you started on the 15th,
You pay first.
it's gonna be, yeah, March 5th, yeah, it won't start until May 1st. It has to be the first day of the next month.
After you've been
First
here
month
30
following 30 days on.
Thank you, that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, yeah.
So, okay. So you're talking about front loading and not basing on anniversary dates for time?
It
I
would
think
be
it's hard to
better,
base on anniversary dates, because nobody's anniversary date's the same.
It's gonna be the same.
So
And the
it's gonna
only
be
time
hard to
that,
give them.
the only time that might come into play is when you're in that year where your benefits are gonna increase.
You give them the bigger benefit, we give that.
On January 1, you go ahead and give it to them.
Like if somebody's, not if it's like way off, but like if somebody's 2-year anniversary is May, and we reset our days in July, we go ahead and give them the 10 days instead of the 1 week.
it would just be easier if it was January 1st.
Yeah.
You have to have a set date, you gotta stick
Yes.
to it with every,
Yeah.
we just do ours by the school year instead of calendar year.
They,
It's easier
they
for
just
us.
did away with that over there where I'm at. They prorated to January 1st, which is been way easier on. My anniversary date's March 19th, but all my benefits are now January 1. Now, if you're a December 31st guy, which we have a few that are in that ballpark, they're really benefiting because they're getting an entire year early. Yeah, they get it January 1 of that year, no matter what. They're getting it 12 months early, but it is what it is.
It was also stipulated, as a new hire, you're not supposed to use any of your vacation time or whatever until you've been here 90 days.
Mhm.
So, I mean, you can at least,
Yeah, you can have that.
put something in there.
And that's pretty
You know,
standard.
that they're here for a little bit of time before they start a new job and then take a week of vacation.
I know our sheriff's office here, they do not get any of their vacation days for 1 year.
I wouldn't know that
Uh,
part.
And that's because they already have floating holidays. Their floating holiday, maybe we get 16 year? whatever.
We do 6 months at the school.
So-
Takes away 6
We get
months.
6 months.
holidays.
But they have that many holidays they can use on day one, so they're not burdened for their vacation time, because you can use those holidays as vacation days. I did when I first started.
The reason the highway always went by anniversary date is so when we're doing big jobs in the summer, like chip and seal, you don't have guys trying to use up that time, because everybody's got the same amount of time. So that's why the highway always went by anniversary date.
That does make sense.
It scatters your crew out a little more, so not everybody's trying to use all the time at the same time.
That makes sense. Okay. Dusty?
Sorry.
I throw that in there.
So we need to. Okay. Maybe we do some more research on that one before we make any motions on that.
Instead of calendar year anniversary.
Look at that one closer.
Maybe couldn't, we want to restrict, like, they can't use it for X amount of time, or are we going to grandfather in anytime they haven't used, and we should do that.
Oh, this PTO stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, so they know, because people lost time last time, and that's
Yeah, I
That's
don't,
communism. I'm not doing that. There's no way I'd vote for that. Yeah, we just somehow roll that into vacation.
vacation time,
Days,
so
yeah.
give it that.
Yeah, we're not taking people's stuff away from them. No way. That's what happened last time. That's not. All right. Okay. So we have agreed on the comp, right? Agreed on an 80-hour calendar week. We agreed on how comp will be paid out, straight time if not physically worked 80 hours, time and a half if physically worked all 80 hours, right? Contingent on timekeeping.
Do we have a timeline on the timekeeping? You know,
I have.
I feel like this is, I mean, I've
I know it's been
been
going
a year
on
on
and on.
council, and it's been talked about every month. So it's
Yes, ma'am.
already ongoing a year for me. I don't know how it was going on before then.
So at least a year before that.
So if we're making these changes, is it gonna be 3 years
Well,
down
the
the
year before
road?
that was with a totally different time people,
Right.
and that one was cut off, that one. messed up the books and computers, everything. So now we're trying this one, but we're trying to get with
The
theirs.
contract's 160.
And that's what the
balance.
county uses Harris, right?
With an 80-hour.
It's a 160-hour balance on the contract.
Yeah, it's an 80-hour goal.
And the 80-hour, yeah.
I think it's Harris, that a lot of the other counties use. If I remember right.
We're not adjourning yet, but we should set
That's what
another
I thought,
meeting, and in
yeah.
that timeframe, we
That's why
can
they're
fight
trying to get it.
Yeah.
the Harris battle.
Oh, about cable.
See, a lot of counties use loud. We don't use loud in Harris. And that's why they keep pushing us to go with it.
We talked about
Do they integrate your
AOD?
Yeah.
Yes.
Now does.
We want to meet again in 2 weeks. Maybe we should. I would
I
love-
cannot do March 11th. If we have council that night.
She said they were too expensive.
I think we have that dinner over here on March 11th.
Oh, the
Uh,
soil and water.
Soil and water.
I have tried that, but I don't know who it's that night, so I cannot.
Well, if it's my birthday, I'll get in trouble at home if I do that night.
March 11th.
March,
Not the 11th.
Well,
We have-
11th is the soil and water banquet next week. It's up bigger. So we got 9th, 10th. Monday the 9th, Tuesday the 10th.
I'm open both of those days.
One of those, just not the 11th.
We can do Monday evening again if you want. It's 2 weeks from today.
The 9th.
She said 3/9?
2 weeks from today.
Open that night.
Still at 5 p.m.
Yes.
That's what we have for years.
We talked about the sick hours, how much you can earn max carryover, but how much do they get annually? Did we talk about that? Did I miss that?
Well, we did, but we didn't vote on it because we were gonna explore
Okay.
and just try to see what.
It has a
Orion.
Do what?
It's public knowledge.
So the PTO, when we start figuring out the PTO, or the vacation time, or however we figure it out, can we look at adjusting the scale, since my guys work more than 40 hours a week? They only earn 40 hours of time off, so they're only
Well-
working 2 days a week at 48 hours.
We're not gonna adjust PTO scale, we're gonna eliminate PTO.
Yeah, I'm just
altogether.
saying, like, however you come up with the time frame.
Well, there wouldn't be scales anymore if we eliminate PTO, it's just flat days. You get 400 hours of sick, you get 400 hours of vacation, this is what you get each year. And those are big numbers, I'm just pretending numbers. There won't be any PTO like this right here, earning 3.08 hours, all that.
Yeah, because the current way
That's-
is, it's billed off for 40-hour week, my guys for 48 hours. So if they take a week off, then there's not enough time to cover a week off.
Well, nobody does that. So it's based on, the sheriff's department here does, they get days.
Yeah.
And those days are based on what your work day is. So it's different for the admin, they get, theirs based on an 8-hour day, but they still get a day. Deputies are 12-hour days, they still get a day. That counts however in payroll. And then some counties are flat hours. They don't go off days, they go off flat hours. You have whatever, 500 hours of vacation on the books. If you work a 40-hour week, because you're Monday through Friday, then you use 40 hours. You know, if you're using 2 of those days, they give you a whole week off because you're a 12-hour person, and you really only use 24 of those hours. So it's kind of based on that. So that's.
How does it work for the people that don't work 40 hours? Because they get a 40-hour week even though they don't work 40, right? Like they
Well-
currently,
Well, it would only whatever you physically take off is the hours you burn. So if you're 36 hour, whatever, and you took that as a week, you used 36 of your hours, you wouldn't be charged.
but they would still accumulate 40 even though they only work 36-hour weeks.
Yeah, everybody, it's a set thing, you're accumulating so many hours per pay period regardless. Yeah, if you break that down to individual, there's no way that any timekeeping system would ever manage that. It's based on employee of Switzerland County is gonna get whatever, you know, this many hours per pay period. And it just keeps accumulating until you hit that max. And then it deadlocks at that max if you haven't used it, you don't earn any more time. But it'll be way more time than given in this PT.
Yeah, we lost a lot when they went to
I
that.
know.
The people's been here for a while.
I know I sound like a broken record and I really don't give a damn. And if it hurts people's feelings, again, I don't really care. Just perks to working for a government, and it isn't the pay.
No.
No.
So it's supposed to be the benefits and the time off with your family. And we have somehow eliminated all of that in Switzerland County. So,
Didn't pay any extra.
right. So you would get more time off every year than you were on this PTO schedule. And it would take care of the family better. Because I think it was the last meeting where I read some of the emails. The one gal that works for soil and water, she doesn't have the time. She got pregnant. She didn't have the time. Well, what the hell are we doing? You know? And why would they work for us?
So that's like a girl that works for me, has 4 kids. They all got sick that her first year. There's been a lot of her sick days. You know, they always pass it around.
Well, sure they do. I have 4. And the plain and simple fact is I give back a little bit of time each year
Yeah.
because we get so much time that it's hard to take it off. And I don't care. And I don't care because that's a heck of a luxury to have. More time than I can use versus, sorry, I can't go to the doctor with you because I don't have any time off today.
But that's not free time, that's time you've earned because you've worked extra,
Yeah,
okay?
but if I have to give it back versus not have enough time to
Agreed.
be there, so be it, I'll give it back. And I've never batted an eyelash at it. Because I have that much time. And I've never, ever not had time working in a county government to take off for family events. And I see this
Me
crap,
either.
and it boils me. It's insane. I don't care whose feelings I hurt. That was a horrible idea, and I aim to fix it. More? Anything else?
I just had a question. I don't know if that's for this or if it's more for Gail. I don't know. It's about the timekeeping. So she had mentioned where they can go in and check for like abuse if someone's changing it and all that. So what if I have, hypothetically, if I have someone who keeps forgetting to clock in or out and I'm in there every day changing it, is it gonna look like I'm abusing it because I went in there and changed their stuff?
We have that, because people forget stuff all the time, but we just, like, if it's the same person that does it over and over again, which I know you only have 2 people in your office, like, we have the principal have a meeting with them, you know, and say, hey, you need to approve
Okay,
this.
so I would just,
And just make a note in their file, and if they still continue to do it, then, I don't even know.
And then what do you do, like,
Action or
if-
whatever, but,
They do, but it needs to be written in.
yeah.
what do you do if like people, you're not telling them to come in early, but they come in early and they're clocking in?
They're not allowed to do that.
They're not allowed, but technically,
So they-
because I'm a payroll person, if they come in and they're actually working, you have to pay them for that time. You cannot just take their time away from them. But you also have to have that conversation again, you know,
Like-
you need to
like-
stop coming in early. We're not gonna pay you, you're scheduled at this time.
Because I don't want it to be where like people just, oh, I'm gonna come in an hour early so I can leave and then I'm
Just sit around, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't want, yeah, you just tell them. You really just need to tell them to keep notes in their folders or however you guys do that.
And she brought up a good point. Is this something that comp time, we have to have, maybe have like a paper trail where the department head approves the comp time ahead of time? And it's like it's a conversation before, and somebody that's an employee is not just making that designation where they're coming in early so they can leave an hour early, because that's not good.
And that's where the department heads have to hold people
Yes. They have
accountable.
to, and,
Have
you know,
to.
they have to be accountable.
And is there any way when this is all said and done, that maybe you guys could talk to like all the department heads and explain how everything is supposed to be? Because I may interpret it one way and then, you know, she may interpret another way what you guys are saying.
I
So couldn't you
personally,
just-
I fully aim to have a huge department head meeting in this whole county, elected officials
Yeah.
to just appointed department heads.
Because I like
Because
me,
the
That's-
ghost meetings and the people not knowing what's going on, you can't have that.
like
Or
me, I
none of
just
this
went on
works.
hearsay. Like nobody told me exactly how to do the payroll, like
Right.
you do that, you know, you don't count this, you can't, I went on, I mean, I worked there for a long time, so, but how do I know that was the right way that we were doing it? No one ever said this
You
is the
really
right way
need-
you do it.
You also really need to have a second signature, which I know you're over your department, so I don't know who your second signature would be. But you really need,
For timesheets,
yeah, for time and changing, just because auditors ask for that. Like, we have second signatures on everything. Like, actually, we have 3 signatures on our time, the secretary, the principal, and then Stephanie as the payroll person goes in and verifies it all and approves it. So there's 3 sign-offs on the payroll. It just covers your butt. I know there's not enough people, so I don't know the solution to that problem right there. I have no
Yeah.
clue, but we have that ability here, but I know they always want second signatures on everything.
I just think too, for all, if everyone's on the same page on what you guys are wanting from the new handbook, then that'll help.
And I don't know, we make the employees sign off on their time too.
They do.
They do, okay.
Yeah,
They
they
sign off and I
verify
sign
that
off.
they've worked this many hours.
I sign it
They,
and
they
they sign it.
sign and then they're,
Then I keep it in my.
Like I get
folder.
mine on the app, every pay period.
and then you go
It
in and
alerts
look
me and
at
says,
it. and
please confirm your time.
Yeah.
Your supervisor has approved your time, but please
Yeah.
confirm that you agree, and I have to go and look and click it.
And that can maybe be your second signature, your employee is the first one, and then you as the second one confirming they worked that time, so that could be, you just kind of want 2 names on there.
The system that we're using over there it's all digital. It's all online.
Which worked fine.
It's working fine.
Yeah.
And I allow them to clock in up to 15 minutes early, but you can't expect somebody to pass another person at 7 o'clock in the morning and get a handoff of, hey, this piece of equipment ain't working, or we're out of this, or.
No.
you know,
Most emergency
You can't do that on a
services.
7 AM pass in the hallway, so.
Most of them are like 7 minutes, you have that 7-minute round.
Well, that's a 24-hour operation, like the sheriff's and the EMS is 24 hours. When you talk about, set office hours, it's not a 24-hour operation, so.
Yeah, and
That
the
definitely
time
makes
clock
sense.
system I use too, it punches when like if they come in and they catch a run and they don't clock in, they can clock in when they get back and be like, hey, I was here at 7 o'clock. I can see where they typed in at and I can adjust that time, and it'll say that I adjusted the time, but it keeps the original punch also.
Yeah,
Right,
that's what
right.
ours does too.
So,
You
it
get the
also-
original punch,
It
so
also
you can go
compares
back
it
and
to
look.
their scheduled time.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if they don't clock in or they forgot to clock in, it will show up as a variance. It won't automatically check mark that, hey, the time that they worked does not match what they were scheduled.
So why can't everybody use what he's using?
It's called Time Clock Plus.
That's what we use.
Ours is a Latitech, which is the fire EMS and police version.
Yeah,
But
that's what we
it's
use
Time
for it.
Clock Plus too, owns it, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you can clock in.
We had a lot of growing pains with them on
Instead
the
of
line,
needing
but
time clocks in these places, you can geofence a
Yes.
location where they can clock in on their phone, but they have to be like in this vicinity.
yes,
That's the way
that's
mine
really
is.
how we said it.
So that's how, ours is not set for deputies, because for insurance reasons, the minute they get into a police car, they're on duty.
Yeah.
So they have to clock in from home, but the non-road people, they have a geofence, where
Yeah,
they
I
can
have-
only technically clock in when they're right by the jail or something
Some of
like
these
that.
people that make backup runs for me, I have their geofence turned off because they might be picking up
Oh,
a
yeah.
squad in Moorfield and
Yeah. They
they
need to
clock
clock
in
in.
time they get the run until the time they get done with the run, so they won't be.
And again, that's a
Indeed.
manager thing, that would fall in common sense of who's running the place.
Yeah, they have a little box and I have them put in the time it was toned, the time they got done, and the run number, so I'm easily able to.
Yeah, like in the note
Cross-reference.
section.
Yeah.
That's what we use. We use that little note section and put all, if anything's adjusted or something out of the ordinary's in there, it goes in that note. So
Yep.
the auditor comes to look at it, we can literally print that note out and show them
But
this
there's,
is what happened.
with EMS and the sheriff's, there's multiple ways that you can check to make sure those times and stuff. It's not like it's, you're out there by yourself.
When we meet again, 2 weeks from today, we'll have to have meeting minutes.
What?
Meeting minutes from today. We'll have to all agree on the meeting minutes because we actually make motions.
2 weeks from today.
Yeah, when we meet,
Yes.
we'll have to have a meeting minutes, just like a college
Okay.
commissioner meeting. We'll all have to agree on the meeting minutes and then move on from there.
Okay.
Anything else?
Nope, good.
Anything else? I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second motion.
All in favor?